What's up, everyone, and welcome to Movie Important's movie review of Spenser Confidential, the newest Netflix original movie that reunites director Peter Berg with actor Marc Wahlberg and brings in screenwriter Brian Helgeland to write the script. Before we begin, please hit that subscribe button to join Movie Important, hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next, and comment below on any video that you watch on my channel. So, I'm going to say it right now, I'm rebranding Netflix Studios as Blank Check, the movie, the studio, because they're literally throwing blank checks at every major director that they can get a hold of that will play in their playground. It makes a lot of sense that they're doing it because they're losing a lot of content because of the whole shifting of the streaming wars. People were, starting on a streaming service, and they need to do whatever they can to bring people into their product. So they are getting people like Alfonso Cuarón and Martin Scorsese, Michael Bay, and Noah Baumbach to do movies for them, and they are literally letting them do whatever the heck they want. And for better or worse, we get something like The Irishman, or we get something like Rim of the World. So it can be good and bad in that situation. And so they've hired Peter Berg to do a movie for them, and he is a director that is in that spectrum of he can do literally anything he wants, but he is, in a good situation and a bad situation. So he can make a good movie like Very Bad Things or a bad movie like Mile 22. And once again, he's reuniting himself with Marc Wahlberg, who is in that other spectrum of doing some really interesting movies like Deepwater Horizon or doing some really bad movies like Mile 22 again. So when I heard this movie was happening, I'm very, very skeptical because I'm worried that they're going to go over the top with the action, that they're going to be zany and goofy and just, it's going to be a terrible movie. And thankfully, it's not that. My skepticism is warranted because the movie's not very good, but it's still an entertaining movie because it's reserved, it's held back, and it actually grounds Peter Berg into doing something smaller and more intimate, even though there are set pieces of action and gunplay and whatnot. And it basically sees Marc Wahlberg going to prison for 5 years. His character's named Spenser. Spenser basically beat up the chief of police for basically hitting and battering his wife. And I like that character motivation because it gives Spenser kind of a humanization look into a heroic type of person. But the chief of police is a very bad person, so he is given Spenser this 5-year sentence. And in the process, Spenser is almost killed by this character named Squibb, who is played by Post Malone for some reason. And because Marc Wahlberg is able to find his way out of any type of situation in any movie, he basically becomes a free man, and he goes out and wants to be a truck driver. Cool, whatever. He wants to have a normal life. He wants to get away from his, ex-girlfriend named Sissy, who is played by Iliza Shlesinger. And in the process, he is basically put up in a boarding house with this character named Henry, who's played by Alan Arkin, who's a friend of his character. And he roommates with this character named Hawk, who is played by Winston, who I really love as an actor. As these movies do, because this is very similar to Brian Helgeland's other movie, LA Confidential, which he wrote. There's a situation where 2 cops are murdered, and because of the cop nature of the Marc Wahlberg character, he is basically going to find out why these 2 cops were killed. One was actually the chief of police, and one was the other cop that he knows for a fact it wasn't dirty because they're being accused of being dirty cops. And so, like every one of these movies, like The Negotiator or LA Confidential, we have the cops going after what is going to happen. And the problem with this movie, with that situation, is this movie goes exactly where you think it's going to go. It's going to do exactly what you think it's going to do, and it's going to end exactly where you think it's going to end. And that's what I don't like about the movie. I don't like the fact that it's not, at least competent enough to do something different with this, with the scenario. It just gives us kind of a samey type of movie. But I think Winston I think Marc Wahlberg they have great chemistry together, and they are very toned down, especially Marc Wahlberg, who's not doing the, what? No, what? That type of thing where he's like the meathead. He's actually kind of a good acting character, and I found that a lot of fun. I think that's what makes this movie work more than it should, is you have characters that are kind of humanistic in a lot of ways, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy when Marc Wahlberg gets the upper hand on the eventual bad guys that he learns about. I love that Winston, who is a more simpleton type character in this movie, has a lot of great moments where he's a very friendly character, but he knows how to kick ass when he needs to. There's a great boxing scene in this movie where, Winston Duke's learning how to box and Marc Wahlberg's teaching him stuff like that, because Winston Duke's he's a very strongly-willed character, but he's a very simpleton type character, which is nice. But Alan Arkin, like it says in this movie, and it's very what he's doing is very Alan Arkish, and I really like Alan Arkin, so I forgive that. I really enjoy what he's doing in this movie as the guy that's kind of like the the kind of fatherly figure to the two characters. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Bokeem Woodbine's in this movie as Driscoll, and he is the ex-partner to, of course, the Spenser character. And it's, you know, once again, it's Bokeem Woodbine. He's a good actor. He does, you know, a competent job, but his character arc and motivations are not the most, you know, logical and make any sense type situations. But, you know, it is what it is. The character that grinds on me this most, to kind of just like, it's like too much, is the Iliza Shlesinger character as Sissy. I like her as a comedian. I think she's funny, but she is just doing way too over the top of a Boston type character. You know, the accent, the over top nature where she like throws things. She has very outspoken, very like mad demeanor and stuff like that. It's kind of like if you took the Amy Adams character in The Fighter and kind of made like ramped it up to 100. That's what her character is in this movie, and I don't like it. I don't think it's a very good role for Iliza Shlesinger. I think she's much better at what she can do as a comedian and given something more meaty. But here she's just a kind of a character type character, and just I don't like it. And like I said, it's cool that you see Boston, you see Mark Wahlberg in his elements, you see how he's reacting. Everything is a lot of fun. The eventual, you know, conclusion to this movie is a lot of fun. I like the fact that he wants to be a truck driver, and he's very attached to this truck, which is called Black Betty, which the owner of the truck driving school was like, get off my truck, and that truck plays later on. And then he also has a dog who's named Pearl, who's like this old kind of bloodhound type dog. And it's just a very cool like sequence. It's very goofy and over the top and zealous and whatnot. But, you know, watching Mark Wahlberg just like treat this dog like a queen is a lot of fun. So, but like I said, Brian Helgeland, this is his type of movie that he writes. He's known for doing cop dramas. He's known for doing character moment type movies. You know, he's not known for doing like the big budget action movies and stuff like that. So it's very toned down. It's a lot of fun to watch. It is very, very violent in some scenes. And there are those tender moments between, of course, Mark Wahlberg and some of the other characters. So I really enjoy it for that. I do think this is one of the better Peter Berg movies, but I don't think it's perfect. It has a lot of issues with its pacing, with its editing, with just those over the top weird moments that he is known for. So, but that's it. That's my take on Spenser Confidential. It's definitely a movie that you can enjoy for a couple hours. Will you remember it most of the time? Probably not. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. And it's a decent movie on Netflix right now. So there you go. But that's it. That's my take on Spenser Confidential. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this movie. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think about these types of movies? But yeah, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification button at the top to find out what's coming next. And as always, comment below on any video that you watch on my channel, including this one. But otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for checking out Movie Emporium. I really appreciate it. If you want to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button and the bell at the top. Find out what's coming next for Movie Emporium. Also, check out these two videos. They're amazing. I think they're awesome. I think you'll enjoy them too. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.